it's Shawnee. Welcome back. Guess who is sick? This guy. But when you own your own practice or your own business or whatever, you don't get sick days. No, you don't. Because a sick day equates to you don't make any money day. So, I have to work today. I took yesterday off because I just couldn't do it. And today, I might try to reschedule those people. But today, it's usually the day that I go into the office, but I was like, I can't make it. I can't make that hour-and-a-half drive. So I'm going to work from home today, and I'm going to see people virtually. Only one person didn't want to reschedule to virtually, so that's pretty good. I'm going to see how long I can make it before I pass out. I'm kidding, but not really. That's one thing that kind of sucks. Let me know if you can relate. That's one of the things that I miss about working at a university or like some kind of organization or business or something. You get sick days. But when you own your own business, no. At first I was like, oh, I'm just going to do something simple, just throw some makeup on. And I was like, no, just because I am sick doesn't mean I have to look sick. And I kind of want to camouflage it. So, I've already got my eyes primed. As you can see, I used the Colored Rain Paint Base, eyeshadow base in the shade Wheat. And I figured I would use a Patricia McGrath palette. This is the Bronze Seduction. There's that. And I'm going to try not to sniff all up in your ear. And since we're here, and it's usually the day I'm in the office, it's also usually the day I talk about the news. Rose, why are you in here? Why are you in here? Thank you. No. No. Everywhere I go. If Rose was a man, I told y'all this before, I would break up with her. She a bugaboo. You bugging me? You bugging who? Okay, so I think people are losing their minds. And when I say people, I pretty much mean like a lot of people in like professions, you know, like like people who work, which is a good amount of the population. I was reading this story about this, can't decide if I want to do this one or this one. I'm holding it like this because I've noticed that some of my Pat McGrath shades will pop out like they don't have no sense. But let's start with this one. I don't usually start with that one. I was reading this story about this lawyer in Ohio. I might have to reference my phone a couple times. Yes, I thought so. He's a criminal defense attorney. So, you know, he's the one that defends the criminals. And his name is Jack Blakesley. Mr. Jack he's gotten a couple of sanctions lately, and let me tell you why. Mr. Jack decides that he is going to do a little bit of vandalism, do a little bit of like pranking people. So what he does is he drives by this crime victim advocate office. Now, I've worked with crime victim advocates. Basically, the way it worked for me is that this organization that worked with people who had been victims of a crime, they would pay for the person to go to therapy. Now, typically the people I've gotten are ones who have had some sort of sexual assault trauma, and it's sort of like the government or whomever is going to pay for their therapy. So, you know, it's a place where they're trying to help people, right? But Counselor Blakesley, he decides that he's going to drive by. So he drives by the little office. And people see him, right? He drives by. Just drives, you know, kind of looks. Then he, like, turns around in the parking lot and he drives back by. And you know what he does? He throws something out the window at the building. It's a Pringles. It's a Pringles can. It's a can of Pringles. But you know what's not in there? Pringles. You know what is in there? The good attorney Blakesley's poo. Y'all, this man pooped in the container and threw it at the building. Now, the thing is, these were people he was about to see up in court in a few minutes. But he was just like, I have nothing, absolutely nothing better to do with my time. So I am going to go ahead and throw my sugar honey iced tea at these people. So, let me see if I'm missing anything. I mean, obviously unprofessional, right? So he pooped in a Pringles can and flung it into the parking lot of a crime victim advocacy center in Cambridge, Ohio. This is all he gets. The court suspended him for 1 year with 6 months stayed for the gross act and said his conduct adversely reflects on his fitness to practice law. I don't know. 1 year with 6 months just like put aside? I don't know. I'm not sure. The thing is, he was caught on surveillance cam. Like, you are a criminal defense attorney, okay? How do you think, like now you need a criminal defense attorney. You don't know that there are cameras every single place on earth there is a camera. You really thought you was gonna get away with this. And not only that, he tosses the can and then he heads on over to the courthouse. He's like, I'm about to go to work. So he pled guilty. And it's a misdemeanor charge of disorderly conduct and littering. And he only had to pay $248 in fines and court costs. I just don't feel like that's enough. Like, does he get sanctioned by the Bar Association or something? Because I just don't feel like that's enough. $248. We could all do it. We could all go ahead and put our poo in a Pringles can and throw it. I'll give you the $250. I'll give you the $250 if you do it. Okay? I'll give it to you. Girl, what? Rosie is being real needy right now. What's that? What's going on? So he said that he didn't intentionally choose the center as his target for the poop-filled Pringles can. He said that he just has a habit of putting his feces in containers and just randomly tossing them out of his vehicle. It's just a habit, guys. Like how I have my coffee in the morning, that's a habit. Pooing in a Pringles can is Mr. Blakely's habit. He said that he's done it about 10 times this year. Now, he says that it's just a prank, just a way for him to blow off steam. And he likes to see the surprised looks on people's faces. Now, one thing that's different, I'm going to go into one of these browns. It's so interesting. On camera, they don't look as brown as I'm seeing them. Anyway, he doesn't claim to have any mental health issues or concerns, which I feel like is different, right? Everybody's always like, oh, it's a mental health concern. There aren't very many mental health concerns where the symptoms are putting your poo in a Pringles can and then throwing them at people. I haven't found that in the DSM. I could be wrong. I don't know it by heart. But he's just like, boom, this is what I want to do. This is what I do. And here we are. And he about to go about his business. I wonder how this will affect business. Like, it probably won't, you know, because, I mean, his name is all out there on the street now. Like, do you think that would make people more or less likely to seek out his services? Here's the thing. You know, I really like to know the technical part of it. How did he do this? Also, is it like the mini Pringles that you can put in your mailbox? I mean, in your lunchbox? Or is it the large size Pringles, the regular size? Because I feel like that would tell us a lot. I mean, I don't know what it would tell us, but I feel like, I feel like there's a difference. There's a difference. I don't know what it is, but there's a difference. My question, amongst so many others, how? Walk me through the process. So you gotta eat the chips first. Don't waste the Pringles, okay? Eat the chips first. Either that or you pour them out and you put them in a little napkin and you eat them throughout the day. So you got the chips out the can, right? Do you rinse the can a little bit, wipe off the like vestiges of chip? Do you do that? I don't know. Or do you just like not even trip? Then next part. You head into the restroom. You gotta make sure you eat some fiber first, right? Make sure you eat some fiber in preparation for the task. I'm assuming you go in the bathroom, but then how? How? Okay, I know how to give like a urine sample at the gynecologist and all the other places you go where they take your urine. I know how to get a urine sample. It's not fun. You've been there. You've done it. You gotta pee. You gotta like position yourself, and then you gotta like find the flow of pee and put the cup under there, right? And then you gotta like clean yourself off, wash your hands. Don't act like you haven't done this, okay? Don't act like it. And then you have to put in a little thing and flip it around for the nurse. But how you do a poo sample? How you do a poo sample? I know at the vet they want a poo sample. I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna get a poo sample. I'm not gonna do that for you. At the vet they want a poo sample, but I don't. Do they want? Has anyone ever had to give a poo sample as a human? You don't have to reveal it, but you know, just let me know if you're aware of this practice. I'm sure it happens. But did he like just sit on his toilet and do it like if he was doing a urine sample? Ooh. I have so many questions. And he said he's done it about 10 times this year. They not gonna sell him no more Pringles. They not. But you know what? If they don't sell him the Pringles, he probably gonna do it in a Dorito bag. I feel like I would not sell that man no more Pringles. You can't get no Pringles from here, sir. I don't know. Barrister Blakesley. He was just... Could you imagine if this man is married with children? Married with children. I would be like, girl, was that your husband who threw the poo out the window in the Pringles can? What kind of Pringles was it? Don't be my friend. Don't be my friend, because I'll be talking about your husband, okay? I'll be talking about your husband. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't even know if I like this. I don't, but whatever. Let me go ahead with... I'm gonna get... Throw in the pool, like... I also want to walk through the thought process. Like, how do you come up with this? How, like, are you just sitting there one day, like, you know, I got some pretty potent poo. What I could do is put in this Pringles package. Potent poo in a Pringles package. And then I could drive around. I just throw it at people. That's what I feel like he did. That had to be his thought process, because what else would it be? What else would it be? I could not have him as my lawyer. I could not. We going up into court. I thought I had another of a Pat McGrath like pens. I know I do, but I can't find it for some reason. I feel like if I were opposing counsel, I would bring that up every time I saw Jack in the courtroom. Every time. Your Honor, objection. I'm very aware that Counselor Blakesley enjoys running around town littering and using bodily, it's not a bodily fluid, using excrement as something that he enjoys throwing at people. And frankly, I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel comfortable with him in the courtroom, and I don't feel comfortable. I cannot trust that he won't do something that egregious in Your Honor's courtroom. Every time he came up against me, I'd be like, is it true that your lawyer enjoys throwing poo at people? Every time. He would not live it down. He wouldn't live it down. I wouldn't let him. He probably don't care though, because he's like, I just like doing it. I just like doing it, and I like seeing people's face. And I'm like, so obviously it's the first time he's been caught, but has it been on the news in Ohio? Has it been on the news that like somebody found a package of Pringled poo? Like, has it been on the news? How has he been able to not get caught? I don't even know. I'm gonna go in with this shade here. I'm not automatically going to the red. People just losing their minds. It's the end of the year and people are done, okay? They are done with 2023. They don't want to do it anymore. They're finished. They would like to start the new year. That's it. That's what it is, okay? Because he did this about almost like once a month. Because he said he did it 10 times already, so this is the 11th time. I bet he would have done one more for the year, because then that's once a month. I don't even know. Like, if you were his partner, like, babe, why are you in the bathroom so long? Where them chips I was gonna eat? Oh, Heavenly Father. I have returned. I had to have a coughing fit. Let's move on to the next story. This is Leonard Leo Muinga. He's from Kenya. Leo went ahead and commuted from Kenya to Connecticut, okay? Now, apparently he was following a family member over. I don't think he liked this family member, and I think you're going to agree once I tell you what happened. Leo has been arrested. Did I put this on? No. Leo has been arrested. Let me get it right. He faces charges of attempt to commit murder and attempt to commit murder with special circumstances. What are those special circumstances, you might ask? Let's start from the beginning. Did I use this? Oh, no. This is the Specular Sparkle and Shimmer Glue Base from Divina. Yeah. So, Leo, can I call you Leo, Leonard? I'm going to call you Leo. Leo is 52 years old. He's a father of 2. And he hopped in an Uber, just to get a ride to where he was going. And he asked his Uber driver, he wanted to find somebody that could do a little job for him. He wanted to find somebody that could finish his family member. Now, all they have done is identify the family member as a woman. They have not given her name. So she's just called Victim 1 in the court documents. So the Uber driver, Leo and the Uber driver, they communicated outside the app. So they weren't doing this through the app because, I don't even know if Uber would notice. But they weren't doing this through the app on numerous occasions for about 4 months. Okay? And the Uber driver, smart person that they are, recorded all of the communication and then reported it to authorities. So let me see. I gotta prop this phone up. You know, let me prop it over here so that we can get all the correct details. Okay, so police then went to the woman, and I guess they were like, do you know this man? Because what's happening? Because he's trying to take you out, ma'am. And so it seems like there may have been some kind of maybe romantic connection between the two, because she said, the victim, she said that she's tried to escape Leonard, now we're gonna call him Leonard, on several occasions, but she like hasn't been able to. She was trying to leave the country, and he reported her to like immigration and was like, she's not supposed to leave. And then he had her committed to a mental institution. Something ain't right. This reminds me of, did you see, it was a couple of months back where this police officer was trying to, he was basically like physically assaulting his ex, I think, and like I think he did get her committed to a mental institution. So I don't know how this became like like PowerPlay for people. She was released from the mental institution, and they haven't said, I guess after the Uber driver reported Leonard, then he was arrested and has those charges. There's no update, but what I want people to do is, if a relationship ends, just leave it alone. Just leave it alone, okay? Just leave it alone. There's no rhyme or reason or necessity. There's nothing that necessitates you committing felonies. Just leave it alone. You traveled across the country. You traveled across the country. That wasn't no cheap ticket. And I'm sure it was a long flight. But you decided to travel across the country. And then you just gonna hop in an Uber and you just gonna ask any random old person, hey, low key, you know anybody that could take care of this? People are stupid. People are stupid. You know, like I feel like, I don't know the stats, but I feel like most times rather than not, you're gonna get caught. This is going to be an undercover operation where they catch you or something. It's very Dahlia DiPolito. That's the energy it's giving me. It's giving me Dahlia DiPolito energy. You know, she was the woman that was trying to hire somebody to kill her. Was he her husband already? And she was asking friends and stuff. I'm not doing that for none of y'all. You call me and ask me, and I'm going to report you right to the police. Because you ain't taking me down with you. I'm going to tell you that much. You are not taking me down with you. Obviously, you don't value our friendship, because I'm a ride or die, but I'm not going to die. I'm not going to die with you, honey. Okay. You ain't going back to Kenya, Leonard. Or maybe they will send you back. But what kind of mess? People are... Just leave it alone. Leave people alone. It's not that serious. I mean, I don't know if this woman did anything to him, but it don't sound like it. It sounds like Leonard is like... I don't know about Leonard. I don't know about Leonard. It doesn't sound like he's a good person. It really doesn't. Don't make no daggone sense. And I'm glad the Uber driver has some sense. I wonder how many times they get requests like that. Just talk, like, again, walk me through the process of you deciding that this is a good idea. Like, how did you come up with it? Did, like, And it's in Connecticut. Like, it's not like you in a big city like LA or Chicago or New York City. You're in Connecticut, okay? Maybe I could see if you were in Dallas, Austin, Texas, DC, but you're literally in a little old town, Putnam, excuse me, Putnam, Connecticut. Where's that at? Where's that at on the map? I don't know. But you over here asking somebody, they don't say who she is. But I would be like, traumatized. Like, you over here trying to get me killed. Like, you came all the way to the US of A. You came all the way to Connecticut. Sorry, y'all. You came all the way to Connecticut. Either I done did something wrong to you, or you're insane. Those are the only two options. Those are the only two options. Do I want to add something else? Kind of do. I kind of want to go in with this gold. Okay. Let's find the next story. This is a very recent story, and it feels appropriate because it happened near me. Now, you know, my office is in DC, right? DC is where all the action happens. But recently, how long ago was this? It was about a good week ago. It was last week. Let me read you the title. Senate staffer alleged by conservative outlets to have had sex in a hearing room, like one of the rooms in the Senate, and they are no longer employed. Now, they put this man's name all up out there. Aiden Masay-Staropsky is apparently no longer employed with the U.S. Senate. And he was an aide to, I think he was an aide. No, he was a congressional staffer to the, to Ben Cardin. I think Democrat, Maryland. So apparently there are videos, I don't know if it's one video, 2, 300, that showed the staffer, Aiden, having sex with an unknown man in the Senate hearing room. So it doesn't sound, I don't know, doesn't sound like the other person is a staffer because they said unknown. Or I don't know if they just don't have the right angle to see who it is. I'm not sure. And apparently this is where people mess it up. First of all, you filmed it, first mess up. Second of all, you sent it in a group chat. It was shared in a private group for gay men in politics. Y'all know you shouldn't have done that. People are not trustworthy, okay? Unless you have some sort of signed contract and it's like against HIPAA laws to say anything, don't trust nobody. And even that, but you know what? I abide by HIPAA. I'm not about to lose all these licenses I got for some shenanigans. This man knew he shouldn't have been doing that. Now you ain't in your name all out there. Okay, this is DC, babes. I don't know that you're gonna get another job in like on the Hill. But maybe, because everybody works on the Hill. But Aiden goes on to make a post on LinkedIn. I don't know why. I don't know why LinkedIn. I think we're used to like influencers and stuff making making their announcements, their apologies on like Instagram, you know, the Notes app. But he goes on to say that he has made poor judgments in the past, but he would never disrespect his workplace. He said that it's been a difficult time for him. Apparently, this is not like a surprise, but I think people are being like homophobic and stuff because people are trash. Aside from that, because that's stupid. That don't have nothing to do with nothing. He's just like, I would never disrespect my workplace, but I'm sorry, Aiden, you kind of did. If you are going to have sex in anybody's room at work, don't let it be the Senate or the White House or the Pentagon. Don't let it be any of those places. Okay, so now he's exploring some legal action at the people who are like being asses to him, which appropriate. I think you should do that. But I don't know how, if and why that's gonna work. I want to know. No, I don't want to know, but I'm curious as to who the other person was, because I'm sure he is keeping his mouth shut. You ain't never gonna know. You ain't never gonna know. So I don't know. They haven't said if he's gonna be charged with something. Obviously, you know what? I don't even know. I was gonna say obviously his career in politics is over, but maybe not. Really, maybe not. He might actually be fine. But like PSA, y'all, public service announcement. Do not have sex in government buildings. That's the lesson we've learned. Especially if it's, don't do it. Don't do it in like the Senate, the Pentagon, the White House, any of the monuments. If you come to DC, don't do it, okay? Do not. Not only are you going to get caught, but they're going to see all your treats on the cameras, and you know it's like high definition cameras. You know, and they're going to be able to identify who you are. They're going to be able to identify who you are, and that's it. Your name's going to be all out there, okay? But you know, I was going to go on a rant, because I was going to say, you know what? Aiden's going to be fine, because they're not going to treat him how they treated Monica. Y'all know which Monica I'm talking about. They dragged her behind all through, up and down, everything. All up and through. I don't know. I don't think Aiden's gonna get dragged like that. I have one more story. Y'all know Hermes, right? The expensive ass, what's it called? Bag company or whatever. So the heir to Hermes is trying to pull like the movie Annie kind of thing, where he wants to bequeath his fortune upon someone upon his demise, right? So his name is Nicholas Pusch, and he is the grandson of the founder of Hermes. He's 80 years old. And so, you know, he's like, you know, I might be done with this act. You know, might be the closing credits not too long from now. But he is unmarried, doesn't have any kids, and he's the 5th generation heir of Thierry Hermes, who founded the brand in like 1837. I wonder if he knew that it was just going to be like so big. So the brand is valued at 200 billion doll hairs. And it's the 3rd largest publicly listed company in France. So Mr. Pusch owns around 5 or 6% of the company, which is worth between 9 and 10 billion Swiss francs. So that's 10 to 11 billion US dollars. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Okay? That's a lot of money. So he's passing on his wealth, and this is what he wants to do. He wants to bequeath it upon someone, right? Because he doesn't have any children. He's unmarried. What he wants to do is he wants to adopt his 51-year-old gardener and give this man his fortune. Now, they haven't said who the gardener is, which is probably for his safety. But he's married to a Spanish woman and has 2 kids. And he could inherit half of that. that's still like at least $4 billion. Right? At least. Let me see what else this is. I don't know. He has to go through some rigmarole to see if he can do it, because there are obstacles, right? Because he would have to adopt said gardener. And it's not that common to adopt an adult, like a 51-year-old adult. And if it is, I'm gonna need me Mr. Poosh to adopt me real quick, or marry me or something. Like, make me your wife or make me your child. I don't care. I don't care, sir, because $4 billion? Child. You would not be able to find me. I would be the next person on Catch Me If You Can, and you wouldn't. That was the NARS Soft Matte. This used to be my top foundation, and I'm remembering why. I'm loving how it's looking. I don't even know that I wouldn't tell nobody. If I were, you know, the person married to a Spanish woman with 2 kids, I'd be like, I don't know who that is. Child, but I would be planning my escape. As soon as I got that money, you ain't gonna know where I am. I'm gonna forget all y'all. I mean, like, I done made it big. Sorry, I don't know you. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? That's it. You're set for life. Enjoy the rest of your time here on planet Earth. You don't have to do a thing. You're not gonna run through that $4 billion, okay? You're not gonna run through it. And for some reason, I'm kind of okay with him giving the man the money. I don't know why, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know how he decided on this man. I don't know. It seems like he's got all his faculties about him. Seems like he's, you know, he's okay, like brain, intellectual wise, everything. He is making a sound decision. And I don't know, like, even though he doesn't have any, like, a spouse or any children, like, I'm sure, I would think that he's got, like, some distant relatives or something, and he's like, I don't like none of y'all. Ain't none of y'all getting this money, okay? I don't know what they did to this man, but he's like, it's not going to none of y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and give it to my gardener, who has been with me for so long in my life, who has treated me better than the rest of y'all. I'm gonna give him the money. Because you know what? I don't think, like, if he puts it in his will and stuff, they can't do anything about that, right? Like, they have to, if it's a legal document, I don't know, child. I'm not a lawyer. So for any of y'all who know the law, please let me know. But I'm thinking, if it's a legal document and it's signed and notarized and, you know, all the T's are crossed and I's are dotted, I feel like he could do that, right? Does he even need to adopt the gardener? I feel like he could do that. I'm wondering, I don't know. I don't know, but because they're like, oh, there are some hoops to jump through. But I just feel like if he goes ahead and I don't know what that is. If he goes ahead and just writes that down, well, it says the requirements for adopting an adult are kind of difficult. An adult can adopt another adult if they lived with them for at least a year when the adoptee was still a minor. And he also has to overcome a philanthropic commitment. know. I mean, if not, like, you don't need to get the whole 4 billion, you know, just give them like 1 or 2. No big deal. Give the rest to whomever you're supposed to give it to. So I don't know, but if that's the case, we all need to find a billionaire and get them to adopt us. Give me a list of who you think would be up for that, and let's do it. I'm down, okay? I would do it. I would do it in 2 seconds. I don't think my parents would mind, so I'd be like, listen, mother and father, we about to get a couple $1 billion. You've had me for 40 years. You could share me right now, okay? For $1 billion? Give me that birth certificate. Like, change it right now. Let me finish this up, and then I have a question for y'all. Okay, so you might have seen in another video where I was doing a this or that would you rather, and it was about what way to hang your Christmas stocking, with the foot part going to the right or going to the left, right? There was another question about what is the normal or the right way to face when you're taking a shower. Do you face forward with the water coming down the front, or do you face the other way with the water coming down your back? Now, I start facing forward with the water coming down in the front. I eventually turn to the back because I need the water to also go down my back. I guess some of y'all don't be washing back and front. You just decide on which one. But I always start forward, but I am going to turn around. I like to get full, you know, I'm on the spin cycle. Every piece gets washed and watered. But some people face the front, and some people face with their back to the water. So once you give me your opinion on all the stories, let me know what you think is the right and normal way to face when you're in the shower. I feel like it's the new toilet paper up or down question. Let me know, because I'm real curious. Okay, so I think I managed to look not too ill. Yeah, I hope that some of this was helpful, and I also hope that you're continuing to take care of yourself. I'm trying, okay? I actually am taking care of myself, just it doesn't sound like it. I would love it if you liked the video, and I would love it even more if you subscribe to the channel. Yeah, I think that's it. Leave me a comment. Tell me your opinions on these stories. Let me know the right way to shower. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.